To be a star, you must burn. That is so facts. Collective. This is something that you've been dealing with for a long time, and I feel like you finally now understand the process of transformation, because I feel like for even from a very early age, you've always felt different. You always felt like there was something inside of you that was greater than you. You've always had this inkling that you're meant to do great things. You're meant to do things that impact people in ways that are profound and never been people haven't been impacted before, right? Like there's just something so special and subtle with inside of you that you feel, you know what I'm saying? And you really didn't understand what that was, but you just knew, like, okay, there's something in me. I don't know what it is, but I just feel different. And now you're understanding that what was in you is meant to be cultivated. It's meant to be practiced, right? And so you might have found yourself going through a lot of upsetting, disappointing, unpleasant experiences in life, right? And this was your burning phase. Like you were burning inside. You went through a lot of things in life that could have broken your heart, that made you feel down and depressed and sad. And all of these scars and these battles that you were experiencing, it was tearing you apart left and right. You questioned yourself, you questioned God, you questioned life. Like, what is more to life? This can't be it, right? You had a lot of these moments, collective. You even had moments where you were just ready to give up. You said F it, and you just started living life, just blindly. You know what I'm saying? And you were just going with how life was going. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just like, hey, I mean, since I got to go through this, I might as well do it the way I want to, right? And so maybe you even found yourself in a lot of compromising situations, and you've dealt with a lot of people who weren't so good for you, but it actually turned out that they were good for you, because these experiences and these people that you were dealing with that was causing you quote unquote pain and heartache, little did you know, these were people and experiences that were shaping you to be who you are today, and it was pressure being built up. You needed that pressure. You needed the external pressure from outside of you, and the only way that you could experience that pressure was through these types of people, was through these types of circumstances, right? Where it created enough emotional pressure for you. And like a diamond under pressure, like a star right before it's about to be born, it goes through so much pressure, right? Before something else is transformed. And so now you are a star, collective. You are literally a diamond. You are literally a star shining at night. And, it wasn't so obvious for a while. Like I said, you've always felt like there was something within you, something different, something special. But even you couldn't see it, right? You might have been a late bloomer. You might have been the ugly duckling, or the one who wasn't so popular, right? And like, you couldn't see it, other people couldn't see it. Like, you were always being overlooked, right? But this was for your own protection, being overlooked, because you were still building up that pressure before you transformed. See, you learned how to take the pressure from your experiences and channel that into something productive. Like you used it for your benefit. But it wasn't easy, and for a while, these experiences were tearing you up. That's what it seemed like, right? These experiences was kicking ass. And you felt very low many times in your life at your lowest point. You didn't think that you were going to make it out of these situations. You didn't even know that you didn't even think you were going to make it this far in life, right, collective? That's how much pressure you've experienced. You've been dealing with it for so long that you started to believe that that's just how your life was going to end up, right? But it did not, and I feel like with you and God showed you a lot of different things. God brought you back to a place of restoration, and God started to show you different signs, and God would help synchronize these experiences, right? You started to ask yourself, well, what does this mean? Why did I go through this? What was the purpose of me experiencing this? What was the purpose of me going through this betrayal so many times, right? And you started to come to these conclusions because you realized that despite all of those difficulties, despite all of those challenges, you realized that your heart was still pure. Like you still had a heart. You still, even after the betrayal, even after the backstabbing, even after the unpleasant experiences, you still had this fresh heart that was ready to give, ready to love, ready to grow, ready to learn. You know what I'm saying? Through and through it all, your heart was always there. And that's what helped keep you afloat. That's what helped, help you. You had people who were extending a hand to you. People who you were always around. You would always be around people that, needed you or could use you, right? Whether they were taking advantage of you or not, it's because of your heart, your kindness, right? So yeah, people were taking it for an advantage, taking your kindness for weakness. But it's like it was like a blessing in disguise, because some of these times in your life, you were at your lowest, you were at your darkest. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you needed a place to stay, and your kind heart allowed, people offered you a place to stay, lay your head. You know what I'm saying? Or did you favors. Even if they were taking advantage of you, guess what? You were still getting something out of that situation, which is why it worked for you in that moment, right? But eventually, of course, all things come to a head, and you had to get out of those situations. But it was because of your heart, collective. And so you had to learn how to use your heart to help heal those other parts of you, right? To help transmute that pain, to help transmute those unpleasant experiences, right? And so now you've done it so much. Your healing journey, you've been on this healing journey for so long that it's just second nature for you, collective. You take these experiences and you use them for your benefit. This is why you are the star right now. You may not be well known. You may be locally known. You may not be famous, right? But you are a star, and people can feel it. You have star-like energy. Like you are a real life celebrity, right? Without the fame or the fortune. But that doesn't matter, because it's about the feeling. It's about the growth that you've experienced. It's about who you are now. You will never go back to being who you were, collective. That is a powerful statement, and you've put in the work to get to where you are. So it's like the only way from here is up, right, collective? You can't go back to the old you, because that's no longer you anymore. Those same things that used to bother you and affect you, it doesn't hold any weight over you anymore. That's how far along you are in your healing. Those parts of you that were still holding you back, they're gone. You know what I'm saying? It's just so mind-boggling to even think about, collective. But things that you used to spend so much time thinking about and harping over, it's water under a bridge now. But in the burn phase, it felt horrible. It felt heavy. You were in the burn phase for so long, you know, and then you learned how to transmute that energy. And so I'm so proud of you, collective, because you are really the real life celebrity. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have fortune now, you are the fortune. So you are always going to be abundant, okay? You can monetize your ideas. You have so many ideas, and you're just abundant in everything. You're abundant in ideas, you're abundant in energy, you're abundant. So don't worry about the fortune or the fame, because you are a whole new person right now. And you can get whatever you want and whatever you need out of life. I need you to know that, collective. Like, it's not, you're not in a place of lack anymore. You know what I'm saying? You don't think from a lack-based mentality. You love yourself, you trust yourself, you believe in yourself wholeheartedly. No one can ever take that away from you. No one can take those experiences away from you. You have so much experiences under your belt, so you know how to navigate and move through life. You are so in control of your emotions, right? Before, your emotions were all over the place, sporadic, and people could play with your emotions and trigger you. But you learned how to burn those emotions up and transmute them into beautiful, beautiful, pleasant emotions, right? It was ugly. The burn phase, collective, in your life was a very ugly, very treacherous, very dark. Like, nothing about it was comfortable, cute, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can laugh now about it, but in the moment, there was nothing funny about that. It was dead serious. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that was hurtful. A lot of that was painful. A lot of that, you know, you wanted revenge. You wanted to get your lick back. You wanted answers. You wanted closure. Like, there was so much you went through, right? But you've learned how to release and let go, you know, and you've, through just your inner work and through just putting in that work day in and day out, never giving up on yourself, you've gotten to this place to where your emotions are stable too. So you're a triple threat out here, and this is why you are the real life celebrity. This is why you are a star, you know. And don't ever forget that, collective, that you are the star. You put in the hard work to get where you are. This is why you are the star that you are. See, people might feel you, they might see you, but they don't really truly know what it took for you to shine so bright like this. You've always had this inner light within you, but because of you were still experiencing the burn phase in your life for much of your life, you couldn't see it. And you couldn't see it fully. You know, you seen glimpses of it, and you even had visions of who you are today, but it was very unclear until now, you know. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful journey and a beautiful process that you've went through, you know. You are literally the caterpillar turned butterfly. That is a beautiful transformation. And you know, people from your past might be intrigued. People who doubted you, counted you out, your haters, your family, old friends, fake people. A lot of people counted you out. A lot of people doubted you. A lot of people left you by the wayside, collective. But the funny thing is, now they have to turn around. They have no choice. They have to acknowledge who you are now. And whether they do that publicly or not, they're still going to acknowledge it, because you're not who they thought you were going to be. You're far from whatever people tried to think that you were going to turn out to be. Some of you people, collective, were never supposed to make it past a certain point. Never must make it past a certain age, right? You're surpassing where you are spiritually and emotionally. You are surpassing a lot of people. You surpass people that you know. You surpass, elders, people in your family. You even passed even some of these well-known celebrities out here on a spiritual level, on an energetic level. This is how much growth you've obtained, right? You're a literal star, a supernova, whatever you want to call it, okay, collective? But a lot of people don't know what it takes to get to where you are. People just see that you're shining and glowing and they think that your life is just, oh, you're so lucky. Collective is just so lucky. I'm so jealous. Whole time you were burning from the inside out. You felt like you were going to die every single day. And they didn't see that, right? And maybe you didn't see it either. But now you understand why you had to go through what you went through. Because of who you are today, right? And I guarantee you wouldn't trade it for the world anymore. And looking back, but if you knew everything that you had to go through to become who you are today, you wouldn't have signed up for it, right? You wouldn't have went for it. So this is why you had to be in the dark, and you trekked forward. You just went through your journey head on. And now you're at the end of this beautiful journey. And I freaking love this for you, star. Who am I talking to? Because I know there are a bunch of stars out there. And you know deep down inside that you're a star. So don't let nobody else tell you that you're not, okay? You know the experiences you went through. And you know the energy that you transmuted, right? You chose peace instead of violence. You chose love instead of anger. And this is why you are the star that you are today. Who am I talking to? If this message resonated with you in any way, let me know down in the comments below, collective, because I know I'm not just the only one. And if this is your first time here on my channel and you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. I would definitely love to have you a part of our tribe, okay? It's a vibe over here all the time. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support me. I love you. It's Kar. I'll talk to you later. Bye.